back, everybody, to Crash Blade Gaming. I'm your host, Crash, and we have our first Obsidian Flames deck with Toedscruel EX. I decided to start with Toedscruel because Charizard is going to be everywhere, and Charizard is weak to grass, but you got to watch out because they can also play the Radiant Charizard that you have to deal with. It does hit for weakness, so it can KO you. But anyways, it is a fun deck. I do like it, so let's go see what we have. And first, we're bringing back the Pokemon question of the day for new Obsidian Flames, so I will have some Obsidian Flame codes to give out once people are winning. So yeah, let's get into the Pokemon question of the day. Pokemon question of the day is back, everyone. I know everybody's been so excited to get this back. We've been missing it, but usually this happens towards the end of older sets and the coming of a new set. I usually stop so that we can reassess the code cards and so that I can give away the newer sets and get rid of all the old ones. And so yeah, hopefully you participated in the last couple of videos where I was giving away the older code cards. That way you got yourself some code cards. I believe as of the recording of this one, there still are a few code cards left, so maybe if I get some more comments on there, you guys will win some. But anyways, I am going to be recording these videos a little bit in advance, so next video I may not be announcing the winners, but that's okay. Let's just jump into it. Everybody has 0 points. It is time to get to this video's question, which is: there is only one Terra EX Pokemon that is a Dragon type. What card is it? Go ahead and put your answer in the comment section down below. Now, just as a refresher for everybody, you earn a point by getting the question correct, and the first person to 3 points will win the first place prize. The second person to 3 points will win the second place prize. Of course, the more participation we have, the more places and prizes I will be able to give out. So if there's more than, I don't know, like 5 people participating, we can have more winners. But anyways, in the case of a tie, the person who gets the answer correct first will win it. So as long as you get the answer, you get a point. Some people do miss videos and don't get points, so it's always up in the air. Keep that in mind. Good luck to everybody. It's in the comment section down below where you will put this answer. And hey, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. We're on the road to 500. Help me get there. I would appreciate it a lot. And thank you to all of my current subscribers. Now, enough with that. Let's get into the deck list. We are taking a look at Toedscool EX, a 270 HP Stage 1 Grass-type Pokemon with the ability Protective Mycelium, prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon that have energy attached, so great for a Lost Box counter. And the attack Colony Rush has 2 Grass energy, does 80 damage, plus 40 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon that have any Grass energy attached to it. And when I was playing this deck, I don't know why, but if we had one Pokemon attached with Grass energy on the bench, this attack was doing 160 damage. So maybe it's just me, but maybe I was miscalculating things. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys see when we're playing the matches. I'm not going to rewatch my matches anyways, but let me know what you guys think. But I thought the math was wrong, but you know me, I have a history of not being that good with math. But anyways, Toedscool EX here. Let's see how else are we helping out this guy. Well, we have 2 copies of the Cherrim line with the Spring Bloom ability. As often as you like during a turn, we can attach a Grass energy from our hand to one of our Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, which every Pokemon in this deck does not have a rule box besides the Toedscool EX. So you cannot use Cherrim with the EX, but you can use it with the base form. We have 1 copy of Manaphy, 1 copy of Greninja. Help us get through the helps us draw 2 cards by discarding some energies. We don't need all the energies in the deck, so Greninja is good for that as well. We also have 2 copies of Cleffa here, a great early turn starting Pokemon with Grasping Draw for no energy. We get to draw cards until we have 7 in our hand. So if going your second, this can help you set up really well. 2 copies of Cleffa in here. Oh, I think I double-clicked again. My mouse is still having troubles. But anyways, Toedscool, we opted to play the fighting version because it is 1 retreat cost and 60 HP. We're not really going to be attacking with this guy, so it's fine to have this. I think the grass ones are a lot weaker. I believe they have less HP or more retreat cost. So this is why we're playing the fighting version of Toedscool. And then we have a 2-2 line of Bibarel. However, you will see in the video that I also have a I believe it's a 1-1 line, or maybe a 2-2 line of Eldegoss. Forgot what I did. I'll have to see, but I had either a 1-1 or a 2-2 line of Eldegoss in one of the matches where you can get energies out of your deck and put them into your hand, and then, you know, that synergizes with Cherrim. But I figured we don't have that much struggle searching for our 12 energies, so I decided to play Bibarel instead, allowing us to draw some more cards, which in this deck I think works a lot better than the Eldegoss. So there's that. We have a bunch of ways to set up here. We have 4 copies of Level Ball, which is awesome. Most of our Pokemon are under 90 HP, which is good. Just a few that aren't, but that's why we're playing a couple copies of Ultra Ball, 4 copies of Nest Ball as well, 2 copies of Pokégear, help us get the supporters. I believe we're playing 2 copies of Super Rod as well. We are 2 copies of Ultra Ball. And the stadium counts, I just put in stadiums because of Paths of the Peak. Especially if you're going against Lost Box and they play Paths of the Peak, you need to counter it so that you can have, like, a defense against Sableye and stuff like that. So we have 1 copy of Artazon allowing us to get a basic from our deck and put it into our bench. And then we also have, no, double click away. Oh no, what happened? This is why my mouse is so crazy. 2 copies of Pokemon League Headquarters. Attacks used by each basic Pokemon in play cost 1 colorless more. So I just put this in here to make it so that you would have to have at least 1 more energy on certain Pokemon like Chien-Pao. I know it doesn't matter for Chien-Pao too much, but if they don't take into effect the stadium, they can't actually attack with Chien-Pao. So keep that in mind. Things like Chien-Pao, Miraidon, all the basic EXs that are good attackers, Raikou, Entei, all those guys, Suicune. It just helps with those matchups, and it slows down your opponent just a little bit as well. And then on to the supporters. I wanted to try out Geeta. I figured Geeta would be good in this deck. We can search for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to one of our Pokemon and shuffle our deck, but then during this turn your Pokemon can't attack. So it is a little bit tricky. You have to get this off in like the first couple of turns when you want to play. So maybe you can leave out the copy of Geeta that I put in and put it in for like another boss or something. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. I believe we're playing 4 copies of Iono and 4 copies of Professor's Research. We are, and we're also playing 1 copy of Raihan. Just in case we get knocked out, we can put another energy in play if one of our Pokemon is missing it. Raihan helps us do that as well. And then of course 12 copies of a basic grass energy. That is the deck. Let's go watch it in action. Alright, looks like we're going up against Charizard. Hopefully it's the new Charizard. Let's go ahead and throw down this Radiant Greninja and Ultra Ball away these 2 cards. And get ourselves a Cherubi going. Actually, let's get Toedscruel going. And I'm not going to choose to do Radiant Greninja because I can attach this energy here. And we have Grasping Draw that we can use next turn. So maybe we can get something good here. We're also going to have a Professor's Research if we're not ready to attack next turn, which is nice. I don't mind giving up a Cleffa just yet. We still want to set up a little bit more this following turn, but if we can attack, we will. Arceus. So this does look like the new Charizard deck, which is good for us because we can one-shot Arceus if we have a full bench. Oh, excuse me there. And we don't even need a full bench to one-shot the Charizard. So, all is looking great. They attached to the benched Arceus, which is fine by me, and that's all they do, so they pass the turn here. We have Research in hand, another Cleffa, which we don't need, so we'll just go ahead and throw down the Research. Crushing Hammer seems nice. Cherubi is good too, so we'll do that. We'll play the Level Ball to get out a Gossifleur. The Nest Ball. We can throw off our opponent a little bit by playing Crushing Hammer and Arceus, but I don't think that matters too much. I want to save the Level Ball. Let's just go ahead and do a Grasping Draw. We'll save the Level Ball for next turn. That can allow me to get out some, what's it called? Eldegoss, so I can get some energy out. And then I can either use Geeta to get more energy, or I can use Iono. We might be using Iono here. See what our opponent is able to do this turn. I'm going to go ahead and Starbirth now, so they can set up a little bit more. And hopefully we'll be set up as well. We're going to want to also put down another Toedscruel and start getting energy into play. I might be cutting the Geeta since we're playing Eldegoss. Eldegoss does the same thing in Geeta, except it doesn't attach, but when you have Cherubi and Eldegoss in play, it doesn't matter too much. Rare Candy into Charizard EX. Here comes the Infernal Rain ability. They also have not used a supporter this turn, so they could have grabbed a boss and they could boss the Toedscool, which would be very, very bad, especially since we don't have anything to attack with. Double Turbo on Arceus, okay. Nest Balls, no Boss's Orders just yet, and Bidoof is fine. Let's see, they should have a supporter here. Path to the Peak is okay as well, and they get a Judge. Oh no. Judge sucks. Okay, not too bad. We're going to be able to put all these energies into play, which is great. So Toedscool should be able to attack this following turn as well. We should be alright. Burning Darkness, KOing our poor little Cleffa. That's okay. Our Judge is a lie, thankfully, so we should be fine. Let's go ahead and promote the Toedscool here. Another energy is great. Let's go ahead and level ball. That'll grab ourselves a Cherrim. And let's go ahead and Spring Bloom all of this energy onto our Pokemon here. Make sure we can attack. And research now. We missed. We whiffed, ladies and gentlemen. We whiffed. We'll throw down another Toedscool. Let's throw down another Toedscool. We whiffed the attack. We still, oh, we can't use Radiant Greninja because Path to the Peak's in play. So we're just going to retreat into a Toedscool that has no energy on it. Attach that for turn. And we will Spring Bloom onto this Toedscool. And end. We whiffed on our Toedscruel EX. So our opponent is now going to be 2 prizes ahead of us, which is really a bummer. Capturing Aroma, this could get them a Bidoof. They could also boss. Boss would be bad, but we have Iono, so it's not too bad. We have another Toedscool in hand. They get down an Arceus, which is fine. Ultra Ball will definitely get them the Bibarel they're looking for. Double Arceus, get out of here. Bibarel it is. This would have been a great turn to get an attack off, but we just whiffed on the Toedscruel EX. Huge bummer for us. We haven't seen it. We have seen 1 Ultra Ball, so we are down 1 Ultra Ball. So we realistically only had 4 outs to a Toedscruel EX. But with their Path to the Peak in play, their second Charizard can't attack, but it doesn't look like they really care because that Charmander already has an energy on it. Burning Darkness, they're going to go down to 4 prize cards remaining. We still have 6. I'm in the mind to play Research instead of Iono though. Nest Ball, we can just burn that. Because I do want to play Toedscruel. I mean, Bibarel does kind of make them Iono proof, so we're just going to research. We want to see that extra card. There's the Toedscruel. Finally. Alright, so we got Toedscruel here doing enough damage to KO Charizard. Let's go ahead and put that onto that Toedscruel. We're going to save the energy in hand. And we're going to save the Super Rod for when this guy gets knocked out, if it gets knocked out. And we're going to go ahead and do Colony Rush, hit for 480 damage, hitting for weakness. Means we're hitting for 240. We cannot get KO'd by the Arceus. However, we can get KO'd by Charizard. Actually, no, we can't get KO'd. Can we get KO'd by Charizard? 180, 30 more damage for each prize. So 210, 240. Charizard cannot KO our Toedscool either, so we should be set. Next turn, I'm going to Ultra Ball for a second Toedscool and put that into play as well. And we'll see what our opponent gets here. They're Ultra Balling. They might be getting a Charizard. Maybe they have Rare Candy in hand already. If they do, great. If they don't, doesn't matter. Hopefully they have energy for it. If they, okay, they do have Rare Candy. I don't think the ability is going to activate. It shouldn't activate. Path to the Peak is in play. So they need an energy for that Charizard, but that's an easy KO for us. Arceus cannot KO us. So I think we're set. We will have a second Toedscruel ready to go. We'll attach the energy to it. We do get Iono, however. So there goes the second Toedscruel plus the energy and the Super Rod. Boss's Orders and energy is great. Artazon is not too bad, but, well, we should play Artazon so we can have access to Radiant Greninja. Thankfully, this Toedscruel does not get KO'd except for that Charizard. That Radiant Charizard does KO us, but they have Path to the Peak in play. Oh, brother. Do we bounce Path to the Peak? I don't think we do. We have Iono of our own. Let's go ahead and Spring Bloom the energies onto my Toedscruels. The question is, like, do I boss or do I Iono? Because if I boss, I take 2 prizes. I do have Iono, but then I don't really have a good way to get more Toedscruels. So I think we're going to Iono. Not boss this turn because I need to get more Toedscruels into play. I need a way to get to them. That's not a way to get to them. Ah. Let's play the Pokemon League headquarters. This does mean Charizard needs 2 energy to attack. We'll conceal cards. Manaphy and Iono are not what we're looking for. So we can go ahead and do the attachment here. And Colony Rush should be hitting for 280 damage. We take out the Arceus. And I forgot about that. I'm glad we drew the energy for that for Greninja. Now we get 2 prizes. Pokégear helps. Crushing Hammer also helps too. They come up with Radiant Charizard. They do not know... Well, actually... It does make it cost 1 more, so they do have to use 2 energy for this Radiant Charizard to work. And they cannot power it up in time because they don't have another Charizard EX. So I'm glad they promoted this guy. Scary stuff right now. We're not going to play Iono. We're going to play Pokégear. Hopefully find a research so that we can get into our Toedscool EX if we don't get Iono'd ourselves. And this is somewhat a downside to this deck, as Iono does hurt us. Radiant Charizard can't attack. Ooh, Lost Vacuum does get rid of Pokemon League headquarters, so Radiant Charizard can attack. Good for them. Way to freaking have everything they need for that. Lost Vacuum in Charizard EX deck. Insane. They're going to go down to 2 prizes remaining, and we're going to go down to 1 prize remaining if we get the KO here. We do have Crushing Hammer, which can help against the Charizard. It does have a 2 energy cost. So there's that. They play a Nest Ball, however. Another Charmander. That means that they probably have another Rare Candy Charizard as well, and that would suck if they get that. Combustion Blast for 500 damage. Way to have a... What's it called? A vacuum. A Lost Vacuum for this. Way to have the Lost Vacuum. We top deck Toedscruel. That's awesome. Actually, it's that is a great top deck. Okay, Pokégear, give us boss's orders. No! No, boss! No! Do we take that? I mean, Iono's a little better, isn't it? Let's put Raihan on the bottom. Let's go ahead and Crushing Hammer. See if we can flip heads. We don't. We missed the boss. We can Iono them down to 2. Bibarel will draw them 2. Super Rod is good for us. Let's go ahead and play Super Rod, get back a Toedscruel and 2 energies. And go ahead and Colony Rush for 240 damage, taking the KO on Radiant Charizard. But the Charizard EX may have it for them. Really close matchup. We just didn't get the cards we needed at the time we needed them. Now the Eldegoss never made an appearance. I think I might be putting in Bibarel instead of Eldegoss. They promote the Charizard. Ultra Ball thins down their hand. They could have played Boss's Orders or Judge. They are thinning. They're going to be drawing 5 cards here. They've taken Arceus out. They're going to bench the Arceus. 5 cards with Bibarel. They still have access to a supporter. Do they find the energy they need to take the KO? I'm sure they will. We've only seen 6 energy in play. I'm not sure how many energies they do play. Actually, one of those energies is a double turbo. They might not have gotten it. Super Rod back in some energies for sure. Charizard can't survive a hit. We have 1 prize remaining, so they probably have a supporter in their hand. It's an Iono! Oh no! Iono for 2! Do they hit an energy? We do. They do not hit an energy, so we were able to squeak by here with Toedscruel. Oh, very lucky for us there. Oh man, I think we should be playing some Bibarel instead of Gossifleur. Oh, what a close matchup against Charizard EX. That's how we do it though. Going up against Lost Box, this will be interesting. We have a pretty good starting hand here. We're just missing some energy, so we're going to throw down a Cherubi. And we're going to throw down a Toedscool. We can also use one of these level balls to go ahead and get Bidoof down as well. Next turn we can use a level ball to get Cherrim. Unfortunately, we won't have the energy to... Well, that's not true. We could top deck an energy and use that to attach to Toedscruel with Eldegoss. Not Eldegoss. What's the evolution of Cherubi? Oh my goodness, I forgot. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. That evolution. And attach and then research, evolve, and we should be able to get to that with how we want to. Don't know what kind of Lost Zone deck we're playing against. We may want to put down Manaphy. Not too sure, but actually, Toedscruel is actually really good against Lost Zone because of the ability. As long as they have energy attached, we should be fine against things like Sableye and Giratina's V-Star power. So it looks like they are going to be playing Radiant Greninja. They did get rid of a water energy. And they have 4... Oh, they've gotten rid of 3 energies. Path the P comes into play as well. And they are able to KO our Cleffa. Let's hope we can top deck an energy. We do. Okay, that's really good. Let's go ahead and level ball for Cherrim. Top decking that energy is sick. Let's do this, because now we can possibly get another energy off of this research and attack with Toedscruel this turn. And a research here. We do hit an energy. We hit another Toedscruel. We got a couple more energies down as well. Let's go ahead and throw these guys into play. Level ball. Grab, I guess, another Cherubi. Attach there, and then we can go ahead and Spring Bloom onto our Cherrim so that we're protected. And then boom, we hit for Colony Rush, 120 damage onto the Cramorant, so we take our own KO as well. Pretty good for us. We'll get prize number 5, a level ball, which is good. We can get down another Cherrim, and we can research next turn again, so we can find some more energies to help protect all of our Pokemon. We definitely want to get an energy onto Manaphy as well, so that they cannot use Sableye to KO that Manaphy. They did get rid of a Sableye. Unfortunately as well, Toedscruel does only have 270 HP, so Giratina can KO it with its attack. And our opponent is doing a pretty good job of getting cards in the Lost Zone. They may even be able to get a Shred attack off this turn. And we get Iono'd. I actually like this Iono because we could draw into another boss's orders and get more energy into play. This seems good. This seems really good. We can Bibarel, maybe Pokégear for boss's orders to get the Giratina. Ooh, they do put down another Giratina. Kind of bad for us, but that's okay. Another Toedscruel is cool. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and Spring Bloom onto the Toedscruel. Increase our damage output a little bit, then we can evolve. We can also use Pokégear. Research. Okay. We don't have the energy to KO a Giratina. So let's go ahead and research. There's all the energy we need to KO a Giratina. And let's Spring Bloom onto everybody. Manaphy, Cherrim. And we'll leave Bibarel because I want to attach to the Toedscruel. Let's draw a couple more cards. I don't want to play my stadiums just yet. Okay. And we'll hit for 240. Take another KO, go down to 4 prizes. Now we need to find one more energy so we can attach that to Bibarel so that we can, there it is, so we can one-shot the Giratinas. Pokemon League Headquarters doesn't really do much in this matchup except for the Cramorant. It does help against Cramorant. Ooh, they do get rid of another V-Star. Attach an energy to the Comfy, so now they need to find some Mirage Gates and supporters. We also want to find supporters as well. I want to just start KOing these guys. We do play 2 boss's orders, so they're in there. We did see one get Iono'd away, that's for sure. A switch card there. Super Rod for our opponent being able to bring back some energies. We haven't seen a supporter yet, I don't believe. Nope. We've seen Iono and Colress, and that's it. Okay. So our opponent is struggling. We want to find a boss of our own. We can go ahead and attach this to Bibarel. Our damage output is at the highest. Let's go ahead and play Pokemon League Headquarters, Bounce the Path. No reason to play Super Rod. So let's Ultra Ball away these two. Trying to just thin so I can find my boss's orders. Getting a boss's orders this turn would be awesome. I want to keep Super Rod around though. No boss's orders, okay. Let's go ahead and thin the Level Ball. Don't want to play Iono yet either, so let's just go ahead and Colony Rush, hit for 280. We KO this Comfy unfortunately, but our opponent's still struggling. They don't have any energy in play. So we'll deal with this as we go on. Another Toedscool is good as well. That's good. They do have a Mirage Gate, so they may have an attack this turn, but the great thing is Star Requiem does not work on any of our Pokemon. So they cannot use Star Requiem. They can use Lost Impact though. They do take a KO here. We have what we need in hand to take the return KO. And we should be good. We can also Iono them down to 3. Let's promote the Toedscool. And we're also going to play Super Rod this turn. Put that guy down. Go ahead and play the Super Rod to bring back Toedscool and 2 energies. Just so that we have them. We can Spring Bloom to them. And let's Iono our opponent down to 3. We can also get to 3. We have Bibarel though, so that's good for us. Another Toedscool's great. And Industrious Incisors here. Draw a couple more cards. 2 Toedschools. So if we get Iono, that's bad. Oh, and our opponent concedes. No, we were going to win that matchup. We were, I promise. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching Toedscool EX run amok on the ladder here. It was a pretty fun deck, if I do say so. And I believe you can mess around with the support Pokemon as well. There's not one good way to play it, but I think having that Bibarel in there instead of the Eldegoss is much better. For me it was, because you don't really need to search out the energy as often, but maybe you do. I don't know, maybe get some different faster decks. Who knows? I don't know. I hope you guys will figure it out, and I hope to see you next time on Crash Blade Gaming.